Welcome to my adventure in the United Arab Emirates. 6 days we've been on the road, and this is our final campsite on the beach in a place called Sila. 6 days it's taken to get here. We started at Ras Al Khaimah, right up the furthest northernmost point in the Emirates, and also the highest, probably one of the highest campsites in the land, deep in the mountains. Off the mountains, crossing the vast gravel plains into the empty quarter, crossing all 7 Emirates, and now find ourselves here, the most furthest southerly point, very close to the border with Saudi Arabia. How we got here, next. At the invitation of His Royal Highness Sheikh Hamad bin Hamdan Al Nahyan,
it's something really special.
Welcome.
Gwyn and I have just spent the past 4 days at His Highness's new off-road museum.
But that one without turbo, very poor in power.
Yeah. As well as being coddled in a 5-star hotel. Now we're about to throw off the shackles of room service, pillow menus, chauffeur-driven cars, to hit the trail in a Jeep. And I'm not quite sure how to feel about that. I'm in a Jeep. I'm in the United Arab Emirates. I'm driving down a wadi. A wadi is a local name for a riverbed. And in the Emirates, they are normally covered in tracks because four-wheel drivers absolutely love to drive down them and come under the trees. What we're doing today is exactly that, and I am driving what I consider to be probably the perfect vehicle for this particular application. The vehicle is the Jeep Wrangler JK, and I love Jeep. Well, what I love most about them is the fact that every new model they write unlimited or limited, and what limited means is that they'll only sell it to those people that really want to buy it. And unlimited means that they'll only sell it to everybody that really wants to buy it. And the reason why I say the Jeep is ideal for this kind of excursion is, well, it's light, small, fantastic off-road, and just plain fun. And because we're not doing epic distances, it's perfect. And this particular Jeep JK has a unique feature with its roof rack. It has signals an alarm when the roof rack falls off. It stops rattling. This is actually the first vehicle I've ever driven where whoever decided to put a roof rack on thought that scaffolding would do. And I remember this well from my previous trips to the area. These mountain passes are fantastic. So we are at 250 meters above sea level, and the campsite in these mountains right next to the Omani border. The campsite is 1,000 meters, so a 750 meter climb. And to tell you the truth, right now I cannot think of a single thing that I'd rather be doing. Well, this is a little unexpected little spot. Apparently the local farmers collect water in these flat areas and then they grow grass on them and we come and camp on them, but it's something to do with farming in the area.
This is stunning.
Middle of nowhere. This is my go-to spot for summer, and then I come do reviews on kit, and it's too hot. So I get up here and you got the greenery, park over here on my own, do a review. I love it.
A bit of a wind, so it'll probably be a cool tonight. Adrianette and Sean have already got their fleeces on. I mean, this is their winter. For us, this is still summer.
Tomorrow is the 2nd of December, and the United Arab Emirates celebrates its day that it was created. Basically, it's like Independence Day. It's when all 7 Emirates got together and decided to create a country. And of course that means a long holiday. And most people are taking over 10 days, and most people during that time are either heading into the mountains or heading down to the sea. So we're not absolutely alone, but it still is a very, very remote area. For those of you in the channel that don't know and are not familiar with my other trips to the Middle East, this is Sean and Andronette Mayer. That's Gwynnie.
Hello.
And they run a channel called
Expedition
Extreme.
There we go.
One of the first channels dedicated to travel, tips and gear in the Middle East. They are based in the United Arab Emirates, and they are our guides for this trip. Again.
And,
Again.
and good friends.
And they're very good friends, become very good friends of ours. And you are the first guys to have introduced us to this area, and we absolutely love it. So thank you for that to start with. I think we're going to have a good time. You said last night that the wind would stop when the sun went down. You were wrong.
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon when the sun goes down.
Oh, right, okay, because last night it didn't actually stop, did it?
No, it actually got stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yes, and I
stronger.
cursed you more and more and more
Oh,
for being
jeez.
wrong.
No, we got the days wrong, I must say. It's sunset this afternoon.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that. We were loaned the Jeep by a company called Off-Road Zone. They're big into 4x4 modifications, company based in Dubai, and part of their operation is you drive. And the idea of that is that you go and rent a 4x4, go and take it into the desert with a guide.
I looked around at what we were doing here and decided that the way we could drive business is to get people in Jeeps, get them out in the desert, teach them to love going out in the desert, camping, but especially the Jeeps, and then selling them Jeeps. So really it came about wanting to sell more cars, to get more long-term customers, and to do that, make people fall in love with driving a Jeep Wrangler, and that's how it was born.
But Gwen and I decided that we didn't want one of their guides, we wanted our own personal guide. And we got one in the shape of Sean and Andronette. Guys, scaffolding. Time now to sort out the very rattly mount for the rooftop tent. This is why deserts enchant me. Every plant, every creature is so well adapted to its environment, and those adaptations are so extraordinary and diverse. Watch this. This is a very, very spiky, inedible plant. Now if I pour some water on it, watch what happens. The surface cells change, exposing the chlorophyll and enabling them to absorb water and photosynthesize sunlight. During times of drought, they are able to protect themselves, during which they appear grey. Yesterday we left Dubai.
Yes.
Show us the route where we have come, where we are now,
Yeah.
and the plan.
Right, so I've brought you to the most northern part, probably one of the highest mountains accessible in the region. We're up just on the border over here. Okay,
So
we'll
Oman is actually the
parts.
that in two parts. Just
Yes.
to clarify, that's Oman
Correct.
and that's Oman.
First camp, we're heading to Fort Today, and then we're heading down towards Malia, ancient ruins, and then we're heading towards the Bedouin camp, which is here, and then we're heading down to the Tropic of Cancer, which is there,
Okay.
and then we're going to pop up on the beach here, and this is the Saudi border. So basically I'm taking you from one end of the United Arab Emirates to the other side of the United Arab Emirates, as much dirt track as we possibly can.
I'm in low range first and second, nice and slowly, carefully down the mountain. these passes, were spectacular coming up yesterday, but this morning coming down, oh my. Now, the Emirates and Oman, they're not big four-wheel drive destinations. Why? Maybe because people just don't know about them. I have to assume it's that, because they are unbelievable. This is the perfect driving road. Unbelievable. I think I know why it's not a well-known 4x4 destination for visitors. Is because Dubai is so good at their own publicity and the activities close by to Dubai are sand driving in Land Cruisers driven by other people, where a whole lot of people get packed into a Land Cruiser and get driven around, and after half an hour feel sick. And that's so well publicized that the other side of it, this side of it, isn't well publicized, because there is enough information about tracks and things. Sean himself created a lot of the information available, where you can actually just rent a four-wheel drive like we've done, some camping equipment, and come and experience this, because it is unbelievably good. And I see so little about it as a place to come four-wheel driving. Maybe it's because people think it's unsafe, and it's Arab nation. Now they have two official languages, Arabic, English, so you can get by with English pretty well anywhere. Is it safe? Yes. It's safe. Many North Americans will think that it's not safe for them to come here. It's complete nonsense. There are lots of Western tourists that come here, but not a lot of them that do this kind of adventure. I feel as safe here as I do anywhere, and maybe the problem is that the news about the Arab nations is so prevalent on political news networks that have their own agenda. It's rubbish. Just be sensible like you would on traveling to any other place. Well, morning of day 2. Today things are going to change a little bit in that we're going to be moving out of the mountains into the true desert itself. So a lot of driving. I really don't know what's happening today. Not terribly worried, letting Sean kind of just lead the way. He knows the area extremely well. And if you can hear, if you listen carefully, very carefully, you can hear the calming tones of Gwyn snoring as the morning sun kisses the mountains. I think I'll just leave her there to sleep. But don't laugh. Don't laugh at snoring people. Never ever laugh at snoring people. Snoring is God's way of helping older people know that each other is still alive. It's been a very nice morning's camp, very leisurely morning. We sorted out some hot water, all had a shower, and it's the kind of camping that I absolutely love. We're relaxed, we don't have a long way to go today. It means we're going to arrive at the campsite between 3 and 4 p.m. No rush, plenty of time to do stuff, and the magic is now. It's the camping and chilling.
this Arabic mud and stone architecture, thick walls, dark rooms, faded glory, really inspired the world building for one of my books, Blood Rights. And a lot of the action takes place in a city just like this, with these fabulous buildings with the intricate ornate doors and hidden nooks and crannies, and I just love it. I could get lost here. I could spend all week here, and they could come back and fetch me.
As you're watching this, anybody can do this. I haven't been given some special privileges. I rented the vehicle. Why isn't this area, this country, popular amongst four-wheel drive overland explorers? And I have a feeling it might have something to do with the fact that on TV you see, all you ever see is maybe a couple of shots of some people on a camel, or you have a Nissan Patrol charging up a dune with a whole lot of tourists in the back. Yeah, you can do that. I wouldn't dream of doing that. How about doing this?
That is gonna look insane.
So amazing. Just ridge of sand.
I'm Andrew Cynthia White. Join me as I share my passion for building four-wheel drive trucks and then travelling to the remotest parts of the world. So, we're trying to find a campsite in the dunes.
Yeah.
So if we're high up, we'll see a sunset. If we're low down and the wind blows, we need to make sure that we're not on the...
Well, yeah, we've got a
inside.
very early morning start tomorrow morning, right?
Yep.
So we've got a sunrise shoot. We've
Yep.
got to get out of the dunes. We're going to be driving at night. So we've got to find something, well, early morning before the sun comes up. So we've got to find something that's easy enough to get out. But we also don't want to hear the noise from around us. We also don't want to see any lights. So I think we're high enough up to enjoy the breeze so we don't get the heat
You
from the
mean
desert.
here?
Or,
No, it's not a bad spot.
yeah,
Sounds good, actually. Nice being
I
back
think
in
it looks
nice
pretty.
being back on the dunes.
looks pretty
Looks
pretty.
like it's in the middle of nowhere, the friggin' highway just over there. Like 6 lanes. Can't hear it.
Well, if you
That's
switch your
probably
car off,
If I switch my car off, I might be able to...
look at this,
might be able
look
to
at
not
this.
hear it.
He's always shouting at me for my diesel, and there,
It's
the
a quiet,
cardinal mistake.
It's a quiet petrol engine, and
What's the first thing you taught me, Andrew?
turn
When-
off your engine because I'm freaking filming.
Right, and
Yeah.
when you turn it off, there's a
Yes.
shudder, and we have an earthquake, and then
Yes.
everything kind of
Settles
simmers down.
1HZ, yes.
Yeah,
Just petrol. You need petrol.
and it took a half an hour
Much
for
better.
the fan to go off as well.
It's much better.
And let's talk about fuel consumption real quickly.
Okay, so consumption was 2 litres more for 100. How many kilometres did we do?
380 kilometers.
Kilometres, and this used 2 litres more than that, and it's probably half the weight, if not less than half the weight. I mean, you're
Yeah.
carrying most
lot.
of the kit,
Yeah.
almost all of the water, almost all of the food. Yeah, you are much heavier than
And the 4.2 litre diesel is renowned for being heavy. The 1HC is a heavy.
I
because
don't think it is. I actually, but your driving style is very different from mine.
yes, true.
We are about a 2-minute drive from a major arterial road, because tomorrow morning, very, very early, we have to be at a place which is about 10 minutes from here, and we have to get there before sunrise. It's a special cultural thing that I don't know too much about. Sean's organised it, but it does revolve around some very old Land Rovers in the desert. So that's the purpose of this. The other vehicle is a friend of Sean's who's bought a ground tent for Gwyn and I, because Gwyn has injured her knee and she's struggling a lot with getting in and out of the rooftop tent, so he's called on some support.
Everything gets packed up tonight. I would rather have 15 minutes spare and be there on time. And what? Sunrise at 6:30. You know, if we're 15 minutes late, we might miss the shot.
It is 5 in the morning and we've been taken now to a wildlife sanctuary. We're going to go and see if we can see some wild animals in the traditional way, more African I think than Asian, in that we're going to be in open Land Rovers. And the first thing I noticed this morning when arriving, there is a smell in the air, and the smell is quite distinctive, and it's of engine and gearbox oil, and it's from these very old Land Rovers. We're now picking colours. Can you believe it? They've got so many here, we could actually pick our own colour. Gwyn, what colour would you like?
I like that green. Green and blue for me.
People who aren't photographers, really. There's no clue.
Absolutely.
So we're going to pick colours that complement the colours of the desert, not fight it, Gwyn, including a yellow one and this lovely heritage green. I was told later that those 2 hot air balloons were flown just for our benefit. No, you direct me if you want me to. We've got second. Tighten that. Yeah. When photographing a sunset or sunrise, it moves incredibly quickly. One literally has seconds to get the shot. Pressure!
Impressive contraction. It's like a press conference here this morning. Every single person here is holding a camera. It's bizarre.
We're on a photo shoot, or hadn't you noticed?
Do you blame us?
Yes, but you're the photographer, but everybody's photographing you photographing.
Trying to make money so we can feed you, Gwyn.
Few vehicles in the motoring world. There are several, but if I had to list the top 5, a Land Rover would definitely appear in that top 5, and it would be these very models. So, tell me, say something, anything.
It's absolutely sensational. The animals, it's quite interesting. They are so different. I mean, they're similar, but so different to the oryx of southern Africa, which are, you know, dun colour. They're much darker colour. These are light. And the little Giselle, same thing, same animal, different colour.
But what is unique about this experience is it's not just the Land Rovers, and the fact is that you look at the dunes and there are no tracks on them. That in this part of the world, to find a dune field as big as this with no tracks on them, you have to go into the private reserves. There's almost no option, because dune bashing is a national pastime. Sean spotted a piece of plastic bag. When we worked in Botswana, it was the same thing. When we saw a cigarette butt in the Okavango, we would go and pick it up. Every little bit helps. And this country suffers badly from litter. Heritage Desert Safari offer a lot of activities apart from driving in vintage Land Rovers. For us, they've laid on the game drive, followed by a falcon show and breakfast.
Big pieces at a time. And right now, she doesn't even care about what she's eating. Right. Okay, so who's going to go first? Very good. So you'll see she gets that height. She tries to dive down. Now this is love. Very good. All right, and immediately you'll see she's trying to take it away from him. All right, she's not taking it to him, and this is a natural behavior as well. All right, I just took Nacho under there. She was eyeing him out this morning.
The best part of this really is that one can get very close to these magnificent birds. Yeah?
That's good?
That's good.
All right, so let me get him onto the glove, and I'm
So
going to...
like that, probably.
I'm going to cue him to your glove. Go perch for me. Ah, yes.
Hello, you beautiful
Good boy,
thing.
Nacho. At least he's behaving with the camera. Very good.
Hey, you want more? I don't have any more. She's got it.
Good boy, Nacho. Huh? There we go. So
Wow.
let's try one more, just so that we make sure that there we go. So
shot.
let's try one more. All right. So she's really trying to manipulate it, get it down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not cooperating with her today. So eventually, she's actually just going to drop that. All right. If she can't swallow it, she's just going to drop it. There we go. Yes. You can come on up. Hold on, Matt.
So our breakfast for today is called the full madams. So this is the traditional Emirati breakfast. It's just like traditional, it's just beans,
Right.
and usually you're gonna eat it along with some other ingredients. So here we have some olive oil and tahina, which is made out of sesame seeds.
Okay.
Here we also have onions, tomatoes, and parsley. So you have to mix it all together. Tastes really good.
Okay.
And over here we have some traditional Arabic breads. We call it rugag.
With a side serving of yogurt.
So it's made out of wheat flour, salt, and water. And usually for the morning we fill it with some fillings like za'atar or even eggs. It's
And
really
you would
good.
have that with
the
that.
beans.
with the
You would
beans.
eat
so
it
just-
together.
Yeah,
yes?
eat it together.
Okay.
And also we have some shabab. So
Right.
that's how we call like pancakes nowadays.
Okay.
But usually how the Bedouins would make it is they would also add some cardamom. Because they use cardamom, for a lot of different other stuff. Not just here, but even coffee.
This should be interesting, shouldn't it?
Lemon and mint.
Alright, so Andrew, are you ready to learn how to wear the gutra on?
Yes, I am.
Time again to learn how to wear the Arab scarf, sometimes better known as the khutra.
This here, you try and find this piece to get onto your forehead here. Okay, so as you're holding it, it's doing that,
Okay.
yeah.
And from here,
Yes.
we're gonna do a
Okay.
Should be easier.
Right. Okay.
perfect.
Right.
And now we're gonna do a one big fold. Just like this.
That
Yeah.
over the
Flip it,
top.
and then keep it stiff like that.
Right. Okay.
Yep, that's perfect.
Right.
So from here,
Grab a corner.
Grab it, the corner goes like that.
then from here,
Yes.
we're just gonna roll it outwards.
You can
So now-
readjust the top. There we
Okay.
go.
One side have to go around your head.
Like that?
Yep. Yep. Roll it around again. And you can tuck it in here.
Ah. That's better. Better than last time. Do you remember last time? Let's go. It's the ground sloping like this, so I'm going to just come forward and just bring the nose down ever so slightly, probably half a car length or so. In terms of time of years to visit, the summers here can be brutal. Brutal. 50 degrees is not uncommon. Very high humidities, but it's not all the same. You get some areas where it'll be 40, 45, 50 degrees and very low humidity. Other places, very high humidity. It's enough to say that the summer weather is extreme. This kind of travel isn't really practical during those months. There are some exceptions, but I won't talk about those now. Generally speaking, you're going to be looking at December, January, February and March are going to be those months where daytime temperatures, while warm, sometimes quite hot, are certainly tolerable. And at night it can actually get very, very cold, especially in the mountains where we went earlier on in the trip, and in Oman and the high altitudes it can get bitterly, bitterly cold in winter.
Sean has brought us to one of the most easterly parts of the United Arab Emirates, at a place called Sila on the Persian Gulf. The only thing to do now is to choose a campsite.
Hey, it's amazing stuff. And look at this one. It's like a little bowl.
It's white, and then you've got this red gypsum sticking out. The contrast between the white sand and the red gypsum is absolutely insane. And as the sun obviously gets better, yeah.
I see all this pollution and in this magnificent place, all plastic. And I think to myself, I just want to make my house as free from single-use plastic as is humanly possible. There's got to be a way. There have got to be alternatives to this.
To take 2 nights here, just so the beach, any good?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great little beach. It's unfortunate that we're on this side of the peninsula. It picks up all the rubbish coming from the ocean. What to do? But the rest of it from the beach side towards the ocean, I think, is absolutely stunning.
But an old problem with the United Arab Emirates has reared its ugly head again. Litter.
The guys of here, they were here obviously during the long weekend, have picked up a whole bunch of nets, which is great, but leaving it here just...
Right, so we're back in the car because the peninsula is two-sided. All peninsulas are two-sided. Never mind. On that side where we've just been, all the litter washes up, and on the side we're going now is not quite as interesting. It is much cleaner. So because we've got a little bit of daylight left, Sean suggested let's go and have a look at the other side and see which one we prefer. Do you think this side's more interesting?
Oh, for sure. Definitely. I mean, look at the colour of that sea. I mean, like, the sea was beautiful on the other side, but this
We
is
do have a
just-
beautiful sunset to enjoy.
And yeah, and also
Follow
having
those
the
tracks.
land on the other side just gives it definition and stunning. This is beautiful. Now this is a little piece of paradise. Hey, isn't this stunning?
I love Silovia. How do you enjoy your drive?
Yeah, that's cool.
You the 4x4 queen.
It's worked well so far.
But alas, it's not quite as clean as we hoped it would be.
I'm going to do a quick clean-up of the beach. There's quite a bit of litter on the beach, but we're just going to make this little part of the home. And I figured, hey, you know, we can just get the worst of it out. No, look at that. Barnacles that have attached themselves. That's how long this bottle has been in the ocean.
But my pet hate, and I'm sure you can agree with me, fireplaces and people leaving, they think that a fireplace will burn the glass bottles.
We have picked up on these features and stressed in. There you go.
Follow my feet, where's that glass? Some of the bottles we've got over here, Thailand, Philippines, it's amazing. So it's gone from, well, we don't know whether it's a Thai boat that came here, but it's interesting to read the stuff. It is a treasure island at the end of the day, but it's plastic.
So now digging the holes for the back wheel, so the back wheel settles so the car is level when... I was just going to put it in two-wheel drive and poof.
Yeah, you do that. It's not going to go anywhere. Oh, there, whoa, too far. You're good.
Right.
You're good. It worked. Well done.
Is that too far? Actually, I was a little bit ambitious, wasn't
You were.
I?
Well, I think it's...
No, it's too far. I need to go back now. I'll put it in four-wheel drive and I'll go back this far. It's perfect.
To be honest,
It's perfect. It's perfect.
seriously straight.
That's a beautiful campsite. It's really stunning. A lot of litter around, but we've kind of got used to that. And look at the water, beautiful blue water, as you can see. And as I wrap up, the trip's been absolutely fantastic. Nice, not too rushed. Nice balance of driving days, bit of technical driving, lots of different scenes, and a lovely beach, lovely campsite to conclude the trip. On every single trip, I think back about the equipment that I've used, and has anything stood out. Now, on this particular trip, of course, using another vehicle, somebody else's kit. A piece of equipment that has stood out for me is actually the camera that I'm actually now using. I am was a huge GoPro fan. I had the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 6. And finally, when I bought the 6, expected it to be better than the others, I eventually got so angry with it, I destroyed it on purpose. And the reason why I did that is because the software was frustrating me so much that on numerous occasions I would try and get a shot and it would fail. Something would fail, and almost always it was software based, and I would lose footage. The camera I'm now using is called an Osmo action camera. And my conclusion with it, this is my first shoot, I've looked at the rushes, and my conclusion is that it is flaming fan bloody-tastic. Because the software is simple. When I ask it to turn on, it turns on every time. When I link it to my phone to control it and adjust it from my phone, it links every time, not just once every now and again when it feels like it, which was kind of the way the GoPro would work. The stabilization is astonishing. Look, check this out. I mean, the car was moving. Now, the camera is attached to the bonnet of the car, but look how the bonnet of the car is moving. In other words, the stabilization is actually happening inside the camera, and it's brilliant. I love the quality. Color quality is good. It's sharp. This is 4K video. And I'm not comparing image quality with GoPro. It's definitely as good as far as I can see from this point of view, but the interface is a billion times better. What an impressive piece of equipment. Vehicle, Jeep JK, very, very well known, 3.6 litre V6. Engine is powerful, pliable, easy to drive on-road, easy to drive off-road. The automatic gearbox is a good one, easy to control off-road, like it. Typical Jeep annoying things, it beeps far too much. Sound, beeping, and what's it telling me now? You went ping. What are you telling me that I'm... What? Cars that ping. If I was a ping and there was something on the dashboard to say, hey, you've forgotten to do this. I have no problem with that at all. But a car just going ping, how does that help? The low roof line kept on hitting my head a bit, and the fact that there's nothing to keep the doors open is a little bit annoying, but the reason for it is, of course, you can take the roof and the doors off, which is unique with the Jeep. I just plain like this vehicle, and it's a lovely plaything. Range is low, fuel consumption high. Actually very high considering the load we're carrying. But I would like to thank Off-Road Zone and U-Drive. They loaned me the vehicle. Thanks guys, you made this possible. Appreciate it enormously. I would also like to thank Sean and Andrew Mayer from Expedition Extreme. Thank you for setting this up for us. Been a great trip. Again, you have excelled. Go and check out their channel. Great stuff, particularly for people living in this area. Enormous amount of information available on that channel. As a woman, you might be concerned about traveling in the Arab states. They're all different in terms of this country, the United Arab Emirates. Andronette has traveled in this area extensively for over a decade.
I don't think there's any worries to come to the UAE, to come and travel here. I think you have seen in the last couple of days that we've been around in little spots that we've camped. People don't bother you. The only time when they will come and bother you is to ask you, listen, please would you come to our house? They're very open to bringing people to the house. They would like to feed you and that type of thing. Absolutely no concern. It is safe. We've never had anything stolen from our campsites, even going into Oman. Absolutely nothing.
Women specifically, should they dress in a specific way?
I think we're very fortunate to be able to walk around in shorts and tops and whatever. Obviously only when you go into your cities, into your malls, would you either put a scarf on or whatever. I have been very fortunate to run into places because you're busy traveling. You don't have everything on hand with you. To be able to just go into the store as is. Never had issues with it, and no, I don't really think they are very strict on that. Although it is said, respect the local
Custom.
yeah. But no, definitely not.
So that concludes my expeditions for 2019. By the time you see this, of course, will be in 2020. And, well, if I haven't said it already on the channel, Happy New Year. I hope it is a wonderful, safe one, and I hope it's one that you can spend lots of time with your family. After all, family is the most valuable thing we own. There's a bit of depth from me. It is. See you next time.